We experience that only few persons achieve excellence but others do not. There are generally two common beliefs or general perception on why only few people are great achievers in their life. The first perception is that high achievers are different persons by birth. That means they are born with some kind of innate talent, and their innate talent determines their success or high performance. The second common belief is that people who achieve great success in their lives are very hardworking or they work smart. Their hard work or smart work differentiate them from others and is the basis for their success or high performance. In last 20 years, a lot of research work is done to understand the human performance. The latest research in brain science and learning sciences clearly established that innate talent of a person does not determine his success or high performance, because human brain is a self-organized system of neural networks and synoptical patterns. The neural networks and synoptical patterns define our capabilities and intelligence. Therefore, they determine our actions and behaviors, and thus our identity, that is, they define an individual. Since our neural networks and synaptical patterns in brain are the result of our learning and experiences, every single individual is different due to his neural networks and synaptical patterns of brain. However, the neural networks and synaptical patterns of brain change with new knowledge and new experiences, and this is called the neuroplasticity of brain. It means our brain is more like a plastic which changes its networks and patterns with new knowledge and experiences. Therefore, all the capabilities and intelligence can be acquired through deliberate efforts of learning and development, and there is no such thing as innate talent. The real life experiences also explain the same thing, that persons are not different on the basis of their innate talent. The second common belief for high performance is that high achievers are better in working hard or they do smart work. Though hard work or smart work is an important factor for achieving excellence or high performance, but it is not the determinant for excellence. In real life, we generally experience that many a persons around us are hardworking and they work smart too, but they do not achieve excellence or high performance. Therefore, hard work or smart work is not the determinant nor the most crucial factor to decide the performance of a person. Hence, a pertinent question arises: what determines the high performance of or a professional excellence of a person in his respective field? As today's world is characterized by materialistic interest and dominated by financial value, it is the fundamental qualities and competencies that determine a person's outstanding performance or professional excellence in his respective field. The fundamental qualities and competencies are the result of person's learning and development over a period of time. The fundamental qualities and competencies shape a person's intellectual identity. The fundamental qualities and competencies that determine a person's high performance are: first, right attitude. That is, it is the positive attitudes of a person in his respective field. The second is higher order skills. That is, a person's well-developed higher order cognitive functions in brain. And third is person's deeper understanding of real-world experiences. In other words, his worldview that is based on broad horizons and profound mind. These three fundamental qualities and competencies, that is right attitudes, higher order skills, and his depth of understanding of the real world experiences, shape a person's intellectual identity. A person's intellectual identity is a reflection of his intelligence, capabilities, beliefs, attitudes, and understanding, and his worldview. His intellectual identity defines him, that is who he is not in the context of spirituality, but it defines him in his intelligence, capabilities, attitudes, and beliefs, which determines his actions and behaviors. In short, his intellectual identity defines his action and behaviors, thus his performance, and it is itself shaped by the fundamental qualities and competencies. Now let us understand the fundamental qualities and competencies, that is right attitudes, higher order skills, and deep understanding of the real world experiences in a greater detail. The first fundamental quality and competency is right attitudes. A person's belief, feelings, interest, and inclination preferences, and discovery of the broader meaning of his personal interest construct his attitude. A person's attitudes determine the valuability of something in his brain. What will be the valuable for someone and what will not be is determined by person's attitudes. And as people differ in their attitudes, the difference in the valuability of something for different people. The valuability of something is the most important criteria for our brain to focus on that task or work. And our full mental energy or attention is automatically focused on that thing or work without effort. The effortless focus or in focus is the most important or crucial factor that is responsible for achieving high performance or professional excellence in any field, because focus or attention is responsible for all form of learning and development. It is the main gateway through which learning happens in brain. However, the development of our positive attitude toward any field or right attitudes begins with our personal interest or inclination but culminates with the discovery of why those personal interests are relevant to our life, the lives of others, and the world at large. That is, with the discovery of broader meaning of our personal interest. In the scenario, the task or the work for which we have positive attitudes itself become a reward for our brain, and our full mental energy is focused on that work to create excellence. Therefore, right attitudes is the intrinsic motivation for a person, and it determines person's disposition to work and motivate them for lifelong learning, and as a result high performance or excellence is bound to happen. The next most important fundamental quality and competency is higher order skills. Higher order skills are the core intellectual competencies. They determine a person's quality of thinking and thought process and develop his intellectual traits. These skills are very crucial for the outstanding performance or intended result in the complex, dynamic, and challenging environment of the 21st century, and therefore they are recognized as leading 21st century skills. After all, the quality of everything we do is determined by the quality of our thinking. Higher order skills are crucial for higher order cognitive functions such as quality decision making, understanding the root cause of any problem, and finding creative and reasonable solutions, forward looking planning, strategic use of resources, responsible leadership, collaborate constructively and communicate effectively, etc. Therefore, these skills are fundamental to real world complex problem solving, leadership in any field, entrepreneurship, and to achieve expertise of any field. Let us have a look on real life examples to understand the importance of higher order skills for achieving excellence or high performance. In court, to present effective and valid argument, lawyers are needed to equip with higher order skills, and also for the judges to make a decision or judgment, they need to understand all the crucial aspects of the case, and also they should understand the larger implications and far-reaching impact of their judgment. For this, only the knowledge of law is not a sufficient condition. Lawyer and judges are needed who have higher order skills to establish the rule of law for all the people. Recently, we saw the success of our foreign policy at the time of Ukraine crisis. It is the best example of higher order skills. The government of India followed independent foreign policy while balancing between the two superpowers, and at the same time, the government of India safeguarded its nation interest and increased its world influence. The government of India's stand on Ukraine crisis was admirable. It not only safeguarded nation interest and increased our world influence, but also our relation with both superpowers become even more stronger. The stand of the government was well thought and considered, taking into account all the aspects of the crisis in such a volatile and challenging situation. Higher order skills enable us to deal with such complex and challenging situations. The third fundamental quality and competencies that determines high performance or excellence is depth of understanding of the real world. The depth of understanding of the real world, that is our worldview, that is based on broad horizon and profound mind. When our worldview is based on the deeper understanding of our real life experiences, then it represents our broad horizons and profound mind. Whereas superficial understanding of our real life experiences causes our narrow horizons and shallow mind or limited mind. Our worldview determines our responses or our approach to any real life events, issues, or crises, and thus determines our actions or behavior. We can understand it with iceberg model of current reality. An iceberg has 1/9 of its volume above water, and the rest remain beneath the surface in the sea. Generally, we just react to the symptoms that we are facing in case of any events or crisis and ignore the deeper dimension of the problems or issue, that is without understanding the root causes of the problem, and this is due to the limited mind or shallow mind that we generally hold. The actions and behaviors based on shallow or in limited mind causes unintended and many a time counterproductive results of the problem and the issue. However, the events and crises that define our world today are the result of underlying structures, paradigm of thoughts, and sources. To understand any real life experiences, we need to closely observe and consciously think and understand its root causes. That is, what are the structural issues and what pattern of thinking was applied and what is the source of the problem and issue. Then only it will enable us to understand an issue or problem completely and find the solution that are reasonable and creative. The close observation and conscious thinking will broaden our horizon and develop profound mind that will result the intended result of our actions. Therefore, it is the fundamental qualities and competencies, that is our positive attitudes toward our work, our higher order skills, and our worldview that is based on broad horizon and profound mind, determine our performance or excellence in any field, but not innate talent nor hard work or smart work. And the fundamental qualities and competencies shape our intellectual identity that defines us, that who we are in terms of our capabilities, intelligence, attitudes, and beliefs that determine our actions and behaviors, and our actions and behaviors are the basis of our performance.